start. So welcome to Final Demo Day 2020. This is the third demo day this summer for 2020. We had two internal demo days, one for cohort 1 and one for cohort 2. And we're happy to have the grand finale. So we had a total of 20 teams participate this summer. And today you're going to see the top 6 teams pitch their apps. So before we get started, I just want to go ahead and set our Zoom reminders, and also for everyone viewing on Facebook Live and Twitch. So all the Zoom participants, just a quick reminder to make sure you're taking the call where you minimize background distractions. And if you have the ability to change your virtual background, please do so now. Second thing is we would like for you to keep your cameras on, and feel free to unmute yourself if you would like to participate or ask a question. Don't feel restricted to just using the Zoom chat for comments or to ask questions. And lastly, we are going to have the boys pitch, and we're going to have a couple of people give a speech. So we do ask that you double check that your microphones are muted during those times, and I'll make sure to give a reminder. With that said, any questions or comments before we start our program? All right, let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing we want to do is give it up for all of our teams. Like I said before, there's 20 teams that participated. So let's give it up for our top 6 teams. So first team, NOLA. If you're here to support NOLA, feel free to unmute yourself. Tell us why. If you're in Zoom, you could use the chat. If you're in Twitch or Facebook Live, show some love to NOLA. NOLA's our first team participating in Final Demo Day today. So everyone give it up for NOLA. This team is comprised of Anthony Flores, Cesar Melendez, Sharif Moreau, and Brandon Godinez. Our second top team that qualified for Final Demo Day is Master Menu. Everyone give it up for Master Menu. So this team is a powerhouse 2-man team, which is Carlos and George. So everyone in Twitch or Facebook Live, if you came here to support Master Menu, please show them some love. Our next team that qualified for Final Demo Day is Next Corner. So if you're here to check out Next Corner, make sure to let us know in the chat or feel free to unmute yourselves. Next Corner is the next team. This team is comprised of Angel, Antonio, Brian, and Ralph. Next team that qualified is Team Novice. Team Novice is also a powerhouse of a 2-man team, which is comprised of Jaime and Grayson. So everyone give it up for Team Novice. Next team, we have OccuBuddy, and they say it just like that. You'll hear them, OccuBuddy. OccuBuddy is also a strong 2-man team with Gabriel and Sadman. So everyone give it up for OccuBuddy. And our last team that qualified for Final Demo Day is Team Fit Realm. So Team Fit Realm, this team is comprised of Joshua, Leon, Manuel, and Giovanni. So everyone, these are the top 6 teams. It was a tough decision. We had 20 teams this summer, and these are the top 6. So you're going to be in for a pleasant ride with each team bringing their A game. They've been practicing probably all night. Hopefully you got some hours of sleep. But I guarantee you that these top 6 teams are going to be ready. I see already some of their game faces on. So let's do it. So before we continue, I want to make sure everyone knows the mission of TXT, and I introduce myself as well. So my name is Roque Pech, and I am the proud director of programs here at TXT, Teens Exploring Technology. And at TXT, our mission is to inspire young men of color to become the next generation of tech entrepreneurs. And this program is especially important to me because I myself, as a young man of color, faced a lot of racial profiling and discrimination growing up in the inner city as an undocumented student. So I know firsthand the impact of not having opportunities that result in 1 out of every 6 Latinos and 1 out of every 4 African American boys being incarcerated during their lifetime. This is why TXT exists. Now, this summer posed a new challenge for TXT. Many of our boys told us that a lot of their in-person summer programs were being canceled, or a lot of their athletic events were being canceled as well. We took it upon ourselves to increase our capacity. We traditionally serve 40 students each summer. But once we found out that a lot of our boys aren't going to have the opportunity to participate in their summer programs, we decided to innovate. And what we did is we broke the summer up into 2 cohorts. And in total, we're able to serve 80 students and provide jobs to over 10 college students as well. Today, you will hear from some of our students, one of our top students, Leon, from cohort 1, and another top student, Sharif, from cohort 2. So I'll give everyone a quick moment to go over our schedule. As I mentioned before, we're going to be hearing from our top 6 teams, but more importantly, we're also going to be hearing directly from our students, our parents, and some of our alumni. So I'll give you a quick moment to just take a look at the schedule in case you want to plan accordingly. And we do anticipate going into about 1 p.m. Any questions or comments about the schedule? Sounds good. Let's go ahead and continue. So TXT wouldn't be TXT without our fearless founder and CEO, Oscar Menjivar. So I want to make sure everyone gets to know Oscar, and we make time to ensure he tells the story about TXT and how it started 10 years ago. So everyone, please join me in welcoming our founder and CEO, Oscar Menjivar.
Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for being here and spending the afternoon with us. Not only with TXT, but most importantly, thank you for being here to support our students, to support our young men that have been working very, very hard throughout the entire summer to make an impact in their community. We're very happy to know that these teams here have gone out into their communities, even during this time, by either calling their family members, calling friends, emailing friends, texting them, and understanding who their users are and understanding what the problems that we're trying to solve during the summer. And then they were able to come back and say, hey, we're going to develop solutions for our communities, and we're going to be able to impact our communities. What I love about this entire summer experience, that even during COVID, we did not stop innovating, and we did not stop inspiring youth. This summer, we're happy to say that pre-COVID, we used to serve about 60 youth per summer. And this summer, we served 650 kids with our online platform. So the positive side to COVID was that we were able to impact not just youth in Los Angeles, but youth across the United States and youth in Mexico as well. Thanks to COVID, this year we went international with TXT, and even kids in Mexico were able to learn how to code and design platforms as well. So we're very happy about that. We're very happy that many kids were impacted. Today, I want to say that with TXT and the support that you have given us, we're also growing and expanding our programs to our hackathons in the fall and also to our Python classes during this fall as well. And next year, we're going to be doing a class with junior SCLA, which is really students that are in the 6th grade through 8th grade and being able to come in and join us and develop apps as well. So once again, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for inspiring our youth. Thank you for joining us, judges. I appreciate every single one of you for being here today. I wanted to also give you a sense of where TXT has been in the past 10 years or almost 11 years. The story of TXT started because one of my friends is now a lifer. He's doing life in a penitentiary up north. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time while we were in high school. And unfortunately for him, didn't have the same luck that I had. And that's why we decided to work with young men of color. We're happy to know that we gave so many other kids an opportunity to create a future for themselves. Nowadays, we have kids that are working at IBM. No, I shouldn't call them kids, they're professionals working at IBM, at Goop, and other tech companies around Los Angeles and California as well. But the humble beginnings of TXT was really at a Starbucks that used to exist right across USC. We started with about 10 youth, and we were able to borrow computers, and we were able to borrow the Wi-Fi from the Starbucks at the time. So we're excited to say that after those humble beginnings, USC Open the Doors has been one of our biggest supporters throughout our time here. And then in 2016, move a little fast forward, we were able to go to the White House and get invited by President Obama to speak at the White House about innovation and about people of color being in technology and being the future technologies that were going to impact communities in the United States. In 2018, we were presented with a James Irvine Foundation Award for being one of the first organizations supporting young Black and Latino boys. We're happy to say that we're the only organization that have been supporting Black and Latino boys and believe in the strengths of unity, believe in the strengths of diversity, and believe in the strengths that together we can make a change for this world. And that's what I'm really happy about. Now in 2020, it was the first time ever, as many programs have done it, that we went virtual. But going virtual didn't just mean that we were going to support kids in Los Angeles. It meant that we were supporting kids all over the world. Kids that never learned how to code before, kids that had never designed before, and youth that didn't have an option. Just last night, I was reading applications from the first cohort that we've ever had. And one of the youth that touched my attention said that he almost joined a gang and he almost dropped out of high school when he was in the 9th grade. And now he's doing great things, working and being a professional in tech companies. So I appreciate to hear those stories. And I think from now on, we'll keep impacting more and more kids as well. And thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. And please reach out to me. My email is oscar@urbantxt.com if you have any questions or if you'd like to get in touch. We are taking donations today. After my job, I have to put that out there and say that please donate today. You know, whether it's $5, $10, $100, or $1,000, the impact that you're going to make in a kid's life is great. This year, we were able to give kids laptops so they can do their work, and we were able to troubleshoot Wi-Fi issues as well. But the most important part is that the confidence that the youth built, the self-esteem that the youth built, that's really the important part. The change, the mindset, going from doing minimal work to being one of the best in Los Angeles, going from doing some work to saying, now I understand what school is for. I understand why I got to get a career. I understand what my future looks like because they've gone through this program at TXT. So I ask you today, if you could donate today, please donate. Again, 5, 10, 15, $100, $1,000 is very helpful. Our goal is to raise $10,000 by the end of the day. So we're halfway there, and hopefully with your help, we can reach our goal today. Thank you very much, and thank you for being with us today. And let's keep serving more youth throughout the year and next year as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Oscar. So we have now our first speaker for today, which is Christian Barahona. Now, Christian, or Barahona, as we like to call him, was one of our coaches this summer. And the beauty of TXT is that our alumni return and help the next generation of texters. So Barahona led his first team of cohort 1 to the championship and came back and repeated back to back like the Lakers a couple years ago and made his second team also win the Demo Day Championship. And I had the pleasure of working with Coach Christian Barahona this summer, and I feel he has a unique skill where he could stay up late with the boys, cracking jokes, but also pushing them to write record-breaking lines of code. One of my favorite memories of Coach Christian Barahona was the fact that he always responded in this way anytime I gave him a challenge. I would say, Barahona, can you do X? Barahona, can you do Y? Barahona, can you do Z? And Barahona always responded, I got this. I got this. And it is my pleasure to now introduce our wonderful coach, Christian Barahona.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Christian Barahona, and I'm currently a TXT alumni. I've been involved with TXT since 2016, and I was a student for 3 years. I remember that the first time I heard about TXT, I was a freshman in high school, and I had been summoned to the auditorium. The last time I got a summons, it was to the principal's office because I got caught selling chips to people, so I was pretty scared. And as I walked in and sat down, I saw a woman in front of us getting ready to present to us. And I was thinking, I'm in trouble, aren't I? But weirdly enough, her first question was, have you guys ever heard of the game Flappy Bird? And of course, naturally, everyone in the year of 2015 had heard of this infamous game. She continued, well, in the summer program, we could teach you how to build a game like that for free. And then it felt like this inner excitement grew within me, and I had my first epiphany. I could see the sketches that as a kid I used to sketch out with friends and family coming to life on a phone screen. And I said, wow, is that really possible? Am I really capable of doing something like that? And so I decided to pursue this burning curiosity, and I applied to the program. And this is where my story with TXT started. After my first year of TXT, where I created an app in a matter of 10 weeks, my life changed completely. I was a freshman skater kid with a 2.3 GPA who was just focused on having fun with his friends, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And that summer felt like the first step that I needed to take to find the best version of myself was made. Through long hours of trying to figure out how I was going to deliver the vision of my product and setting tasks for my team, I was able to gain discipline as well as leadership. And that discipline and leadership I applied to all aspects of my life, such as school. In school, on the subjects that were on my weaker side, such as math, I started putting in more hours into studying them, showing the discipline that I gained. Whenever I was assigned a group project with other classmates, I went from the kid who was led and took orders from whoever was leading the project to the one who actually leads the project and gives everyone tasks to accomplish. And that demonstrated the leadership that I gained. And I always told myself that if I could build an app in a few weeks, then school should be a piece of cake. I held on to that saying for the rest of high school, and I ended up with a 3.5 GPA by the end of it. This summer, I decided to come back as a coach because I wanted to help kids believe in themselves and help them see how much they're really capable of, to teach them skills that put them ahead of most adults in this world. As a young man of color myself, I know firsthand the importance of believing in yourself to be able to overcome the challenges that we face in our community. When TXT took me to Silicon Valley, I was really excited to explore all the different tech companies that maybe I could work for in the future. But at every company that we visited, I only saw one or two men of color working there. In fact, current statistics show that tech companies on average contain only 9% of Black and Latino workers combined. And so this really led me to question myself and ask, do I belong here? Am I really capable of making it here? But each year that I came back to TXT, I built project after project, spending long nights and early mornings innovating, which is exactly what they do at these tech companies. And that is what has driven me to believe that I will make it. I came back to instill this legacy in these new students because I know that these kids will defeat the statistics and become the next generation of world-changing entrepreneurs. One of my favorite memories from the summer was just seeing the kids on both my teams and their growth from the beginning of the program to the end. I remember the first week, everyone struggled meeting certain deadlines, were completely lost in coding, and knew nothing about each other. A week later, with the help of TXT, they learned how to ask help from others, how to manage their time efficiently, and were cracking jokes when I was in meetings with them. It's beautiful to be able to see the growth in these boys each day, seeing them improve themselves and gain new skills that will put them ahead of the game. Now, in order to see this growth at TXT, trust me, you're gonna fail multiple times. However, TXT will also teach you how to overcome failure and learn from it. They teach you that failure is only a gift of knowledge that, if you use correctly, will help you grow as an individual. So embrace it. Something I learned from these past few years is that no matter how bad your situation is, life goes on. So you make sure that you live a life with no regrets. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian Barahona. Thank you for sharing your powerful story and giving our boys advice. As you can see, TXT relies on our alumni to come back and help us serve students every summer. And I just want to take a quick moment to pause and recognize our donors that have helped us increase our goal. So we just received donation from Hal. I know you're in the Zoom call. Thank you so much. Miggy, one of our alumni, thank you so much. Diego Perez, Sterling Mitchell, Raymond Hightower, and Paul Sparks. Thank you so much for helping us reach our goal of $10,000, and we're well on our way. Now, before we continue, a lot of people are probably wondering what's our formula for getting the next Barahonas through our pipeline. So our formula really builds on helping the boys apply our leadership creed. Our leadership creed are 10 statements that the boys memorize and allow them to really have habits that's going to push them to be successful. One of them is helping them think outside the box. We give them tech challenge after tech challenge, focusing on pushing themselves. But not only that, we set high expectations for our boys, but if they don't meet those expectations, we take the time to build a relationship with them and learn from their mistakes. Because ultimately, the power behind TXT is the brotherhood that we build when we talk about asking for help. As a young man of color myself, I know that when I was young and I asked for help, it seemed as a sign of weakness or as a fact that I had inadequate skills. Part of TXT's formula is making sure our boys understand that asking for help is okay. That's what makes TXT special, is our formula that really allows us to not only learn how to code, but build the next generation of self-sufficient problem solvers. I talked a little bit about the challenges we faced here in a virtual summer of 2020, but I wanted to share some anecdotes. This summer, we were trying to figure out how are we going to replace summer camp. Traditionally, we would send the boys camping for a week, and this was a very important component of our program because this allows us to build relationships. And when we talk to our boys once the program is over, a lot of them mention that that's their favorite part of the program. So we took some time to get our alumni on board, and I want to take this time to recognize Pablo, Fahim, Fernando, Azarel for helping us build our Minecraft world. As you can see, we recreated camp using Minecraft. Here you see a snapshot of the watchtowers, and a lot of the camp activities we were able to replicate, and the boys had a lot of fun. I remember hearing Joshua, Victor, and other students talking during lunch because we gave them the ability to stay working during lunch. Let to know they ended up creating their own fight club in Minecraft and had a great experience in there. As you can see here as well, 100% of our classes took place online, and our boys, some of them woke up as early as 6 in the morning and stayed online with minimal breaks until about 2 a.m. I remember receiving 68 push notifications on Slack because Kevin was trying to complete his JavaScript challenge and he was going back and forth sharing screenshots of code with Devin. That's when I knew SCLA 2020 was going to be able to survive in a virtual world. Here you see our boys fully engaged, and they had the opportunity to participate in MBA level lectures and also talk to several high level executives, as you can see here with Brad Griffith, the CEO of Game Time. Now, you've heard from one of our alumnus. I also want to give you the opportunity to hear from one of our current students. So one of our top students from cohort 1 is Leon. Now, Leon is a student who really stood out this summer. He was a student that always looked out for his brothers and shared his notes after class. I always saw him on Slack replying to other developers that needed help with their team's apps. But most importantly, Leon really values one of our leadership creeds that states, "I will be a role model to young males in my community." So everyone, please join me in welcoming Leon Norfleet.
Hello, everyone. As you all heard, I'm Leon Norfleet. I've been in TXT since the junior program, and I've been in there all the way through. Now I'm in my senior year, so this is my last year at TXT. It's been just a really fun experience, and I'd really like to share with you my experiences and how I've been through TXT. Ever since I was younger, I was always interested in technology. When I played video games, I would always try to edit the app and figure out how it worked. I first heard about TXT from a counselor when I was in middle school. I heard it had to do with technology and computers, so I enrolled in the program. When I first arrived, the first thing they wanted to make sure we knew was the TXT creed. Lead by example, strive to know yourself better and seek self-improvement. Do more than asked for. These principles are the core of TXT, and everything we did had something to do with the leadership creed. When we were assigned assignments or tasks, we were pushed to do more than asked for, because that helped us better ourselves and be role models for the other young males in the program. TXT, to me, was a way for me not only to discover that I have a passion for computer science, but also a community where others like me who are interested in technology can collaborate and communicate about similar interests. Before TXT, when I wanted to talk about code, I only had a few friends in a small club. But after TXT, I now have a large community of other young males who have the same interests in technology as me. We're working together in order to create solutions to solve the problems in our communities. I'm trying to make my community, Gardena High School, a better place for everyone. Because I'm a senior, this is my last year of TXT. So instead of doing the same role as last year, I decided to step out of my comfort zone and be the developer for my team, FitRealm. It was a role I never took on before, and it was like jumping into the unknown. Because at first, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I understood the lessons, but to make the app that my team envisioned, it took more than what we were first taught to make that vision become reality. This is when one of TXT's creeds resonated with me. I believe in doing more than asked for. TXT challenged me to find the solutions when there is no guide to build the technology we want to make. Most of the time, I had to rely on trying multiple different ways to solve the problem that was ahead of me. And sometimes, I had to admit I was stuck on a problem and ask for help from peers and mentors. In conclusion, I want to sincerely thank TXT for teaching me valuable skills and lessons and letting me make friends and brothers for life. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you. Leon is one of our students from cohort 1, and you'll see him in action later with this team. But we also have another member from the Norfleet family that we want to take some time to speak, which is Miss Arlena Norfleet. She is the mother of Leon. And I just want to say a few words before we introduce her as well. So I remember right before our summer program started, Arlena reached out to me via email and asked, "Hey Roque, are you still doing SCLA, our Summer Coding Leadership Academy, due to COVID?" And I instantly replied, "Yes. Please have Leon apply ASAP." I am happy to see mothers like Arlena reaching out to make sure her son takes advantage of programs like TXT. With his mother's help, Leon instantly applied to our program once he knew we were still in operation. He was able to complete his application in a couple of days. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Miss Arlena Norfleet, Leon's mother.
Good morning. My name is Arlena Norfleet. I am the mother of Leon Norfleet. It is a great honor and pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to everyone today about all the positive benefits that my son Leon has gained by being a part of Teens Exploring Technology. TXT is an outstanding program that has had a tremendous effect on how Leon continues to grow as an individual, how he learns and interact with others. Initially, Leon was shy to voice his opinion and was unsure of what he wanted to pursue. One of his favorite pastimes outside of baseball and tennis is playing video games. He would spend 3 to 4 hours per day playing video games. After joining TXT, Leon started spending more time coding than playing video games. Leon wanted to learn all that he could about coding. He was focused on working with his group to develop new apps. This was a great change to see in Leon because coding provided him an educational challenge for his mind. The more time he spent participating in TXT, I noticed he began to interact more with greater confidence and self-esteem. Leon went from being shy to sharing his opinion to leading the development of apps. He was willing to take on more responsibilities and was more determined to complete tasks. I even noticed that Leon has had a positive effect on Leon's work in school. When he returned to school, he was more focused and had a greater sense of purpose. Now he plans to pursue a major in computer science. With this goal in mind, Leon knew he had to work harder in school and maintain good grades. He became more enthusiastic about school and was more disciplined. TXT is an excellent program that helps young men obtain the necessary tools that can be used their entire life to achieve success. TXT not only teaches advanced coding, but also help young men with self-development, critical thinking, and entrepreneurship. These are skills that our young men will need to go out and compete in today's technologically advanced environment. One of my favorite memories talking to Leon about his experience with TXT was his trip to San Francisco to visit tech companies. When he returned from the trip, he was overwhelmed with excitement and could not stop talking about how his group presented the app they designed to several different tech companies. This trip afforded him the opportunity to envision himself as one day being a part of a tech company or even owning his own tech company. Programs like TXT are especially important for young men of color because of the obstacles they face to be successful. My family and I hope that everyone continue to support TXT so other young men will have the opportunity to grow just like my son, Leon. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlena, for joining us and for sharing your story with us. And we're excited to see your teams perform later today. So with that said, we could go ahead and start. by introducing our wonderful panel of judges. So before we continue, I just want to take a moment to have all of the judges that were kind enough to donate their time today quickly introduce themselves and answer this one question. How do you see our youth being part of the technology sector in the future? So once again, if we could go in order based off the slide, if we could start with Adam, just quickly introducing yourself and answering the question, how do you see our youth being part of the technology sector in the future? So Adam, thank you so much for joining us. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and answering our question.
Sure. Hi, I'm Adam Marks, and I am a software engineer and an entrepreneur, and now I'm training to be a mathematician. My last venture was a company that I co-founded that we sold to Amazon. I worked for Amazon Web Services for a few years. Now I'm in the math department at UCI, so please come to UCI, anybody. Let me answer the question, how do you see our youth being part of the tech future? I think two things I see. First of all, there are just so many jobs out there, like really good jobs. And so at the very least, I see just excellent pathways into those careers, which is awesome. And then the other thing is I just see an explosion of creativity happening with like all the youth here and all the ideas and the energy being realized out into the world. And I get really excited about that. And I'm really glad to be here. And thank you for the other people who spoke before me. I took a lot out of that.
Thank you, Adam. Next, if we could have our second judge, Vikram.
Hey guys, first of all, thank you for having me and Slick Deals. We're really happy to be a part of the program. My history has been a little unconventional. I started out in finance and kind of made my way into tech and design and programming. One of the pieces that, I'll start by answering the question you asked first, because that to me is the most interesting part of this conversation. There's a fundamental shift in the way the world has moved, and youth today have something that the generations before them have never had. You guys are digital natives. And what that means is people like me lived in the physical world, and a small portion of my life was building websites and building technology and building products. What you guys are doing is completely inverted. A large portion of your life is living online. So what you bring is this understanding of a screen that people like me can only think about, but never actually truly fathom. The value of each pixel, the value of the way information is presented to you, the value of the way you consume information is brilliant. And I think what we're going to see is a major shift in the way technology is utilized. And that's not going to come from the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. It's going to come from the next generation people like you guys. So I'm very, very encouraged by the efforts that you're putting and the org is putting towards making sure that you're evolving. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Vikram. Glad to have you here in Slick Deals as well.
My pleasure.
Next judge we have Pete. Welcome.
Hey everybody. I'm Pete Gatos. I'm a director of product over at Game Time, which sells a lot of tickets to live events. And to answer the question, I think one consistent thing that I've noticed when dealing with top leaders in tech is that they ask really tough and insightful questions that challenge the typical way of thinking and really question everything to find new ways to solve problems. And having met some of the previous cohorts of TXT that have come by Game Time in the past, I know that you all ask these types of incredible questions. You're not afraid to ask the hard questions of people that are in higher up positions. You grilled our CEO for sure. I know I personally was not prepared for some of the questions that the alumni of TXT had asked me. Really made me stop and think and made me find things to fix in our own company. So therefore, I really see you all as the future leaders in the tech space and rising entrepreneurs. because you're going to be the ones that ask those bold questions and find and build the solutions that others can't see because you're looking for those answers. That's really going to help you solve the problems that affect you, your friends, your community, the world. Really, what you're learning at TXT, especially with that aspect, just puts you in such a great position for success in the tech space moving forward.
Thank you, Pete. Next judge we have is Rudy.
Hi everyone, my name is Rudy Bonaparte and I'm here on behalf of Riot Games, makers of League of Legends, Valorant, Legends, and Runeterra. I'm the head of strategic planning over at Riot. In response to the question, I think one of the most important things coming out of groups like TXT and the opportunities that you all have in front of you is the ability to create. And there are a lot of opportunities for other occupations and places where you can take your skills where you're just kind of contributing. And I think one of the things that we're going to see a lot of today, and I'm super excited to see from each of you, is the creation of something new. When you're a developer, when you're a program manager, when you're thinking, to Vikram's point, in a very kind of digital native way, and to Pete's point, when you're challenging the status quo, you're asking hard questions about why things are the way they are. I think one of the things that's going to be super exciting to see from each one of you today and in the future is how you're going to create that solution, not just permutate something that's already existed, but make something new that really works for you and for your communities and for the audiences that you want to reach with your work. And so really excited to see what everybody has in store for us today, and congratulations on making it to this point.
Thank you, Rudy, and thank you, Riot Games, for all your support this summer as well. So next, we do have our next three judges. So James, Michael, and Victor, thank you for joining us as well. Same, if you could please introduce yourselves and answer our question of where do you see our youth, how do you see our youth being part of the technology sector in the future? So James, if you don't mind starting.
Sure. Thank you all for having me here. Am I coming through? I don't see it on the screen here yet.
Let's see. 1 second. Here we go. There we go.
Good?
Yes. Thank you, James.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for having me here. My name's James Billmeyer. I'm a longtime tech entrepreneur. Current company is a company called Turbo Patent / Rowan Tells, which is a legal tech company that I founded 8 years ago, focused on building tools for the patent space, something that I've been involved in quite a bit, patenting software, et cetera. In terms of answering your question, I think that the observation that the one young man had about going to Silicon Valley and not seeing a lot of folks that look like him is accurate. And I think, though, that these companies are hungry because they do recognize the benefit to their companies, to their businesses, to their profits, to their products of diversity. And I'm very encouraged to hear your teams talking about reaching out to their communities, because I think they have specific knowledge and understanding that can be translated into products that a lot of these other companies can't do. So I think they have a very bright future, and if they stick to it, I'm sure they'll be successful.
Thank you, James. Next, we have Michael from Dollar Shave Club.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Thanks for having me. Was flattered to be invited to this demo day and to be a supporter of the TXT organization. You guys are doing great work. And every time I come down to the facility or talk to Oscar or hear about the things you guys are doing, I get super inspired to hear about how the organization is changing lives and inspiring young people to challenge their brain and get ahead and keep them from doing other things that are less productive, let's say, really gives me a lot of hope. And I'm proud to be a supporter, and I'm excited to be here today to be with you all. My journey to technology is also a bit circuitous. I can't write one line of code. I took an HTML class back in 2003, and I forgot everything. And so, I think that, for a guy like me who comes from a marketing background, who's a marketing thinker more than a technology thinker, to be able to build a business like I have on technology, on the back of technology, or with a backbone of technology, I should say, is a testament to, I think, how far we've come since, the late 90s, when technology felt very techy, and now technology is so consumer friendly. And that's the artfulness in everything that we are building in the technology space. Is ultimately it has to not appear like technology. It has to appear human. It has to react to humans, and in many ways outsmart humans. But it's very much a human thing, and that was not very true back in the 90s, and it's getting more and more true. And so, I think that I've come to learn technology. I've come to learn how technology is bundled together to create great consumer-facing products, or business-to-business products. And the great technologists of the world are always able to frame up how those things come together in a way that is very easy to understand for people that don't have a technology background. And I guess this is a long-winded way of saying that as you think about building out technology, try to think like a marketer also, because ultimately your product has to be useful to somebody to solve some problem or to make life better for someone. And it's not just enough to think about technology. Think about the consumer, think about the marketplace, because eventually you're going to bump into a guy like me who doesn't know anything about, can't write a line of code, but ultimately is going to be your partner in building something magnificent and big. So, yeah, think like a marketer. Pumped to be here, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Michael. Next, we have our alumni judge. So Victor, whenever you're ready, please introduce yourself and answer questions as well.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I'm Victor Lara. I'm a user experience designer at IBM, a doctor recipient, and more importantly, I'm a TXT alumni. I'm one of the OG TXT alumni, so back in the day in like 2000, I think 11, 2010, I think I know better than most that how much TXT is important to me and my community. Growing up in Watts and Compton and seeing the violence and surrounded by gangs and stuff like that is, it's not like a good environment to grow up in. So TXT was that, that hand that pulled me away from all that, and gave me the opportunity to learn about coding and design. And here I am in Silicon Valley being a UX designer in the tech world, and I'm really happy about that. And I'm really inspired today to see all the products that everyone's showing. And to answer the question, I think Oscar put it pretty well, that is strength in diversity and inclusion, and that leads to amazing innovation, and but more importantly, like innovative solutions for our own communities. I have this vision that as we grew up and experienced these communities, and with the help of TXT, we should come back and with their knowledge and experiences, change our communities using technology. So that's how I see our boys of color, changing the world, but also more importantly, changing our communities. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor. Glad to have you here. So with that said, it's game time. The boys are ready to pitch. So while we were having our program, I do want to give an update on our fundraising goal. So as of now, we are currently at $6,400. $463. And I want to take some time to recognize people that have recently donated. This include Paul Sparks, Coder Inc., Leilani Hernandez, Andre Babayan, and Lorena Fonseca. Thank you so much for donating. Any donation is greatly appreciated, and we hope by the end of the program we could hit or exceed our goal. So who's ready for our boys? So
What up? What up?
So let's go ahead and start. So let me go over some rules just to clarify for all of our judges and everyone watching. Each team is going to have a total of 3 minutes to pitch. So the boys will start as soon as the first boy speaks. After the 3-minute pitch, the judges will have 2 minutes to ask questions. So we're gonna do 6 teams, and then at the end of the 6 teams, we're gonna open up a breakout room so the judges can deliberate. So before we start, any questions from either judges or any participants? Sounds like we're ready to go. So with that said, let's welcome our first team, Team NOLA. All right, Nola, go ahead and take it away.
Woo!
It's
Sounds
all
good.
yours.
Hello, everyone. All right, let me share my screen. Cool. Just gonna double check this is working. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Whenever you're ready, Sharif.
Hello, I'm Sharif, the Scrum Leader.
Is our
Hold on, I'm having some difficulties right now.
okay?
No, it was Brandon.
Okay, let's try it again, boys. I'm gonna start the time the second time. Brandon, you ready to go?
Can you guys see me? I was gonna make sure if you guys can see me.
We could hear
Yeah.
you.
All right, can you guys see me?
Sounds good.
I'm using my phone.
Sounds good.
All right, my bad.
No problem. All right, whenever you're ready, Sharif.
All right. Hello, I'm Sharif, the Scrum Leader.
Hello, I'm Brandon, the Product Manager.
Hello, I'm Caesar, the UI UX designer.
Hello, I'm Anthony, the developer. One night, I was in my brother's apartment. All of a sudden, I heard the police banging on the door. And 3 seconds later, guns were pointed to our faces and my brother was slammed to the ground. I was unaware that I had the right to not open the door, since the officers did not have a warrant. In fact, it could have all been prevented had I simply known about my rights. But how does this issue affect my community?
Great question, Anthony. Our survey findings showed that 88% of high school teenagers in LA don't know their rights, letting law enforcement take advantage of our ignorance. It also indicated that 86% don't know where to learn about the rights. The problem is there's no simple and centralized platform where we can learn our rights.
To resolve this, we developed NOLA, a simple and interactive mobile application to learn your rights. First, we will test your knowledge with a trivia feature that has 3 levels. Once you click a level, you can earn trophies for every trivia question you get right. Second, our Right of the Day feature will summarize the meaning of a daily right. Lastly, our menu has a students' rights database of key rights for teenagers. As you can see, there are a lot of rights resources specifically for teens.
But what about our competitors? Illegal Equalizer and Solomon Shield are apps that allow users to live stream an encounter with law enforcement. But at this point, it's too late. Live Civics only helps teenagers learn about civic engagement.
So what makes us different? First, we have a trivia feature to help teenagers learn their rights, while our competitors do not. Our students' rights database is also something our competitors do not have, since they only target adults. And Our Right of the Day feature teaches users a new right without the huge sums of text our competitors have.
With these features, we will monetize by implementing interstitial and rewarded ads into our app. We'll also charge schools $2 per student through partnerships with local schools. Also, our partnership with the ACLU of SoCal will help us reach out to youth organizations and schools across Southern California for increased profits.
Lastly, we'll make revenue from our future features that will be included in our freemium model, such as a multiplayer component where users can compete with time to review questions. We also plan on implementing customizable avatars and incorporating scenarios such as police encounters.
Well, there it is, judges. Daily, our communities are seeing more and more rights being abused, from profiling to wrongful convictions. At NOLA, we believe this can be prevented if teens know their rights in order to protect themselves. That is why when you invest in NOLA, you're investing in the creation of more civilly educated generations to come, which will ensure no person's rights are infringed. And remember, the law is in your hands.
All right, that's time. All right, Nola, great job, Nola. So we have our first team. So judges, I'll start the 2 minutes whenever the first judge starts the question.
Hi, this is James Billmeyer. I just wondered, great job, guys. I wondered how you would bring this to market. How would you get users?
Yes, so we plan on getting users through advertising, and our advertising channels are going to be two main ways. The first is that we're going to be using social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter to get our app out there to high schoolers, which is our target audience. And the second is through partnership with schools. We'll be presenting at schools our app so that they can integrate it into the social studies curriculum.
Thank you.
No problem.
I had a question, guys. Great presentation. How are you going to get data into the rights database? How are you going to build that up?
Yeah, so currently we have a database of rights for the Right of the Day feature. Currently we have 10 rights. So continually we're adding more and more rights onto there, but we need to make sure that through the partnership with the ACU SoCal, we're fact checking the rights in our app and making sure that they're up to date. And that's one of the key takeaways from our partnership with them. But to answer your question more directly, we're having a database where we have all these rights. So every single day is going to be a new right for the users to learn.
I might have missed this, but what does the name mean? How does the name come to life?
So originally our name, when we was in the name creation process, we wanted the name to be Know Your Laws, but that was very long and it wasn't good for the app. So we just shortened it to No Law, spelling KNOWLAW. But that was still too long and we didn't like it really. So we shortened it even more to the same name, but spelled NOLA. So it just sounded No Law.
I like it.
All right, we have time for one more question.
I got one last question. Why or how do you plan to attract advertisers? You said that your revenue model depends on advertisers. How do you plan to attract those?
Could you like rephrase that?
When you were describing how you would pull revenue into the application and the business around it, you said that part of it was through partnerships, and you would have a per student fee there, as well as through advertisers. How do you plan to attract advertisers?
Yes, so we plan on attracting advertisers by reaching out first. We know that we're a small company and right now not many people know about us. So that's the first step is going to be to reach out, right? So the first for the schools, we'll be reaching out to them. And then secondly, we'll be reaching out to advertisers. And through that way, we're making sure that we can get our app out there and make sure that the advertisers then end up coming to us once our platform grows as well.
Thank you.
All right, that's time. Thank you, Team NOLA. So judges, we do have our rubric. If you could just take a moment to make sure you're taking notes or filling out each section. That way, when all 6 teams are done pitching, we can continue our deliberation. If you have any questions in regards to the rubric, please reach out to Alejandro through our Slack channel or directly, and we can help you out as well. But before we continue, any questions from the judges in regards to grading each team or scoring each team?
I'm assuming we're not doing this on a Google sheet or anything like that. So if I just take notes and then we talk about it at the end, that's satisfactory.
Correct. We do have a Google form that you could fill out, but if you prefer the handwritten one or the printed digital Google Doc, that's fine too.
Okay.
Great. So let's go ahead and continue. So before we continue with the next team, I do want to give an update in regards to our fundraising goal. So up to now, we are currently sitting at $7,613. So we're almost there. Thank you so much for everyone that has donated. I want to take a quick moment to recognize more people. This includes one of our judges. Thank you, Adam Marks. A second judge. Thank you, Vikram, Alejandro Bernal, Helen Barrier, and Katrina Nelson. Thank you so much for your donation. So now, who's ready for our second team? All right. So our second team that's going to be ready to present is going to be Team Master Menu. So Carlos and George, take it away. You got this.
Hi, my name is George, a product manager and Scrum Master.
Hi, my name is Carlos. I am the designer and developer.
Today we're presenting Master Menu. During quarantine, I had tried to cook. Since my parents were at work, I would spend hours on YouTube trying to make a simple dish. I would burn my hands and burn my food. I was frustrated trying to make something simple. So judges, ask yourself, have you felt confused trying to make a simple dish or have spent hours on YouTube in the end to make nothing?
Based on the survey we conducted, we realized that beginner cooks have difficulties learning how to prepare and cook a meal because of the lack of guides for beginners.
There's no app that could get me connected to an experienced cook. Our solution, Master Menu, allow our consumers to get connected with a chef on demand to get personalized assistance. Our app will be as easy as pouring a bowl of cereal.
Our core features is having a ranking system that will allow the user to see the difficulty level of each recipe. We will also have clear recipes and on-demand cooking assistance for our consumer.
Carlos will demonstrate right now.
In the recipe page, there are a variety of different meals that people could choose from. When they click on a recipe, it will take them to the ingredients page where you can scroll down and see step-by-step recipes with clear images. If the user needs additional support, they could click on the live support button, where there'll be a short description of the chef and a rating based on other users' experience. Next, the user will set how long they need help for and click on the call button to be taken to an experienced cook. Ohele, Gordon Ramsay.
Did you know that 91 million people in the US don't know how to cook? Out of 184 people we surveyed, 81.1% said they would want help from an experienced cook.
Our competitors are the companies Yumly and Epicurious. Because both apps focus on displaying thousands of recipes in their app, what makes us stand out from our competitors is that in a click of a button, you'll get connected to an experienced cook to get help.
Our revenue sources will come from memberships. The $9.99 was made for adults, and this would be our main membership. The $4.99 was made for college students and high schoolers. Finally, the chef will get paid weekly, and we will just take a 5% cut from their paycheck.
Our future plans will be improving and adding new features to make the user experience easy and better. Comerica Bank, one of our key partners, will give us the opportunity to learn about business and provide us with resources such as financial guide.
The Los Angeles Latino Chamber of Commerce is a vital partner for us because it gives us access to business mentors. LATTC is our key partner because it gives us access to chef and the food industry.
Hey judges, are you ready to be the chef of your dreams?
All right. Thank you, Master Menu. Great job. All right, boys, if you could stop sharing. And judges, we can start the 2 minutes for questions as soon as the first question is asked.
Yeah, I could go ahead and do first. So I'm curious to know if you guys did any like remote user testing, and if you guys did, like, were there any challenges?
One of the issues that came up was some people were shy about having video cam, and we addressed that issue by understanding and implementing other features like a text feature where you could talk to them, and also giving them more options so they don't feel pressured to just have the video on them. That was one of the issues we saw when we were testing out our prototype, giving out people getting feedback and understanding what was people's concerns.
Okay, thank you.
So I had a question around how are you collecting recipes and how are you objectively scoring the quality of the recipes?
So since we are the ones that's going to be inputting the recipes ourselves, but later on we'll include a feature where the chef itself will be able to include their own recipes. And the ranking system, we're going to be using it based on how we believe that the meals are difficult or easy.
Could you just go back over the revenue model again, please, and how we incentivize chefs to participate?
That's the slides.
You can just voice it over. You don't have to go back to the slides. That's okay.
The way how we're going to incentivize chefs is by using our key partner, Los Angeles LA TTC's Culinary School. We have connected with them and they offer their help when it comes to chefs in the food industry. That will allow us to understand what they want and how we could provide and assist with that. What way we're going to promote would be connecting with them, Los Angeles LA TTC, and figuring out how we're going to bring them in. And our plan would be we're not going to take away that much money for them, so incentivize them to join, because other apps take away more percentages from the paycheck.
All right, and that is time. All right, thank you, Master Menu. So let's go ahead and have the third team queued up. So next team up is Team Next Corner. So everyone give it up for Next Corner. Boys, whenever you're ready, it's your turn to shine.
Hello, my name is Ralph and I'm the Scrum Leader.
I'm Angel and I'm the Product Manager.
My name is Antonio, I'm the UX UI Designer.
I'm Brian and I'm the developer, and we are Next Corner.
From the start of the pandemic, I've witnessed my parents, who had relied on their home-operated business and being street vendors to maintain a stable income, gain less and less clients. This came to the point where my parents have been constantly worrying about are they going to pay next month's rent and afford food at the same time. We realized that
home-operated food businesses and street vendors in LA suffer from fluctuating incomes because of low exposure due to COVID-19 health regulations.
the data we collected shows that 65% of users, which we had interviewed, aren't familiar with home-operated businesses nor street vendors within their communities. This shows that they currently lack exposure. Along with that, 71% are willing to buy from these businesses if they had a method to locate them. What this goes to show is that there are possible new clients for these businesses, but they need a reliable way to find them.
Next Corner is an app that helps at-home businesses and street vendors within LA get clients and make a consistent income.
This is our MVP, created to help at-home businesses and street vendors in LA have a stable income. We have 3 core features. The search bar is able to search for the vendors. The map will show you where you can find these vendors. And the back drawer has recommendation and the vendor's information. This simple 3-step design allows the users to easily find their nearest vendor. Our key partners are home-operated businesses and street vendors within our neighborhood in order to get the permission to display their location and information on our app.
Next Corner has 2 main competitors, Roaming Hunger and Street Food Finder. Roaming Hunger allows its users to reserve food trucks and street vendors for events, but they're exclusive to Texas. When it comes to Street Food Finder, this is an app for finding food trucks and restaurants, while our app will be targeting street vendors and home-operated businesses.
For our revenue stream, we plan to take a small percentage of all purchases made through the app. We are also planning to add a subscription for users in order for them to obtain a premium feature such as fast delivery and the ability to place an order in advance. What we plan to do with our money obtained from our revenue stream is adding additional features to give our users a more pleasant experience.
We have a variety of ideas for future implementations. However, in order to accomplish these tasks, we need your help. 3 of these features are delivery drivers, surveyors, and the Venmo API. These are necessary for continuous growth, such as how the Venmo API and delivery drivers have the possibility to increase all sales by 44%. We need money from investors to make them a reality. Help us strengthen and bring our communities together as a whole.
Our experience. As a group, we learned time management, collaboration, and communication. This helped us learn the dedication and hard work of a startup and has helped us grow as individuals.
Check your next corner, because there may be a business near you.
All right, boys, that is time. 3 minutes. So good job, next corner. So I'll start the 2-minute timer whenever the first judge ends their question, and if you could stop sharing.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions. There was a role called surveyor in one of the last couple of slides, and I didn't quite understand what that was. And secondly, how would you keep this all up to date? I'm assuming these things open, close, move, whatever. So I'm wondering how they would attack that problem.
Yeah, I can answer this one. So by surveyors, we mean people who are responsible for looking over like a certain area. They go around and see if there are any, let's say, street vendors or home operated business that isn't like on our app, and they have the ability to ask them if they want, like, to give us if they give us permission to display their location on our app, and that's what they're responsible for.
Thank you.
I had a question about the underlying economics. You said that the fee to vendors would be around 8%. How did you get to that number, and how do you feel like that either increases or decreases the number of vendors and type of vendors that might want to participate?
All right. So basically, the way we arrived to 8% was simply looking at what other food delivery companies do, or like what they charge, which is around like 20% and up, right? But due to the fact that we're a startup and we want to have like more people come towards us and get their attention, we decided to keep it at 8% for now. And as time goes on and we gain a bigger traction, we're going to be slowly incrementing it and increasing until we're around 20%.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Or I'm sorry.
Go for it, Victor.
Sorry. How are you going to think about acquiring customers? How do you get distribution reach for your apps?
I can take this one. So we were planning to advertise our product on the like Instagram and like all social medias, and as well as like advertising it through our like, since they're gonna be looking at our app on like either like on social media. There's like a lot of people on social media and they're constantly looking for new places to eat, and we're like one of the only apps to target in Los Angeles. Like we're gonna have like a lot of people trying to order new foods and try to find new places to eat, and there's gonna be a big amount of people looking for an app like this.
All right, team, that is time. So judges, that is 2 minutes. So we could go ahead and continue to the next team. So next team we have is Team Novice. So Team Novice, you are team 4. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Hello, my name is Grayson, and I am my team's Scrum Master and Product Manager.
Hello, my name is Jaime, and I'm my team's developer and designer, and we are Novice. As a teen, I have always admired watching people, even YouTubers, build their own PCs. It was just amazing how each part just came together to build a super machine. But when it came time to where I wanted to build my own PC, I just couldn't find any resources that I could easily understand.
So we stated that teenagers are beginners in PC building need a platform which has compiled resources due to the fact that they are scattered, which inspired us to build the app Novice.
When doing our research, we observed that 16% of teens had some experience with building their own PC, while 83% of them had no experience at all. We also found out that when researching how to build their own PC, only 16% of teenagers looked through one platform, while 83% of them looked through more than one. This shows that resources are really scattered throughout the web. So in our app, we provide inexperienced teens with helpful resources to help them build their own PCs. As you can see, when entering our app, the user will be led straight to the homepage with a list of categories that they can choose from. Clicking on any of these categories will lead them to the resources page, which will have guides, videos, and forums. If the user clicks on a video, the video will open up straight in our app. Here, the user will be able to get all the info that they need. Once they're done getting all the information that they need, they can click the done button, which will close down the video and lead them back to the resources page.
Our competitors are PC Building Simulator and PC Creator because their platforms allow their users to virtually build a PC. However, they charge for the service and also it's more for advanced users, unlike Novice, which encourages our users to get their hands dirty and build a PC. And also, we're free.
So our key partners would be PC Part Picker and Micro Center. With PC Part Picker, we will have them put parts in our platform for users to buy. Micro Center has a limited amount of stores in the LA area, but with our platform, we will be giving them more customers.
Our app will display links for and ads for our users to click, and it will redirect them into our partners' website. And for every purchase they make, we will be getting a small percentage out of the purchase. Our future plans we want to implement is a notification for our users to know when to clean their computer and how to keep good maintenance over it. And we also want to implement a rating system, which our users will be able to rate our resources and for them to have the best resources in their feed.
So judges, invest in us, Novice, a place where beginners can be experts.
All right, Team Novice, that is time. Good job, Novice. All right, Novice and judges, whenever the first question is asked, I will start the 2-minute timer.
Yeah, I could go ahead. I'm curious about the design process. How did your team arrive to this solution?
Yeah, I can answer that. So for the design, we wanted it to be simple and for the users to actually notice it. So our slogan is beginners can be experts. So that's what we wanted. A staircase, since it shows that once people learn, they're going up. So it's just like learning step by step. That's how we came to our design.
All right, thank you.
How do you plan to advertise to people who are looking to build their own PC?
Well, to begin with, we're gonna advertise with our social medias and try to get users from there. And once we get a bigger consumer like users, then we would reach out to our partners and get more users from them.
Just a real practical question I want to ask about hardware. How are you going to keep the hardware database updated, keep track of compatibilities and other things like that, since that tends to move pretty quickly in the industry?
Well, we will keep up with all of that, but like making sure our resources are up to date and everything we put up there are up to date and like not like stay on top of like the industry moving and making sure we have the best things for our users.
All right, we have time for one more question.
I have one more real quick, if that's all right. Who's your target audience? Like, how old are they?
Well, our target audience is between the ages of 14 and 18. We're targeting teens who are inexperienced with PC building.
Okay.
All right, Team Novice, that is time. So great job. So let's go ahead and continue, keep the show going. Before we continue, I do want to give an update and a quick shout out for our goal. So before we have our next team, we are currently sitting at $7,881. And I do want to take a moment to thank some of our newest donors, which includes Andre and Lindsay from Slick Deals. Thank you so much for your time and donation this summer. We also have Stephanie Campbell, Marcus Valverde, and Mr. Mac. Thank you for your help and donation. So next team up, will be our fifth team. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Team OccuBuddy. So boys, go ahead and take it away whenever you're ready.
Everything's good?
Yeah.
You guys can hear me right?
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, my name is Sadman Amin and I am the developer.
My name is Gabriel Conde and I am the Scrum Leader and Product Manager.
And we are OccuBuddy.
Coming from a low-income family, paying for college has always been one of our worries. I wanted to help my family pay for college by getting a job, but I soon realized that I knew nothing about applying to jobs or what even to say in an interview. I was scared and intimidated by the process, and I just decided to not apply to any jobs at all. We identified that teens of color from the ages 16 to 18 in Los Angeles need a platform to learn how to get a job.
Our market research shows that 52% of teens find getting a job difficult because they don't have the information about getting a job or where to start.
With this in mind, we came up with our solution, OccuBuddy, an app that gives teens access to information they need on getting a job and applying through our app. Or simply put, the Glassdoor for teens.
This is our app. The first thing you see when you open the app is the home screen, which has different sections such as the how to do an interview section, where if you click on it, you get to see advice and info on how to do an interview well. And if you go back and click on the second tab, you get to see different job options that are available for teens. And if you click on one of them, such as cashier, you get to see the job description along with two other buttons. One for actually applying to a specific job, where if you click on these buttons, it takes you to the application. And there's also another button called averages and requirements, which has information like the average pay and the average requirements for the specific job. And that concludes our demo.
Our two competitors are Glassdoor and JobStack. JobStack and Glassdoor help people find jobs that only adults can get with degrees and lots of experience. We address the larger teenage market and provide them jobs that they can apply to.
We plan on working with schools across LA to reach more teens and promote our app. We also are going to work with the LAOYC to gather resources for our users. The way we plan to make money is through ads for our partners. We also plan to add a premium feature allowing our users to personalize their job choices.
We also plan to incorporate multiple features such as a chat feature between teens and employers, making it easier for teens to contact workplaces directly. This summer, we learned that with a lot of work, nothing is hard, and we grew as individuals. But most importantly, we earned the tools to bring our communities together. Join us and help teens across LA to begin getting jobs so they can provide for themselves and their futures. As we say here at OccuBuddy, learn,
grow,
and earn. Thank you.
All right, that is time. Great job, OccuBuddy. All right, judges, I will go ahead and start the 2-minute timer when the first question is asked.
Hey, my question is, maybe you mentioned this, but how are you going to get the list of job openings and keep that up to date?
Okay, so the way we would do that is by looking for people or employers and then asking them whether they would like a pool of teens which they can choose from to work at their place. And the way we would do that is basically by partnering with employers by maybe going to local businesses or basically any type of business and just asking them like, would you like to have a big pool of employees and choose the one that fits your specific job? And that's one way we would do it.
Thank you.
Could you just go again over the revenue model, please?
Yes. So our revenue model was that we would have a premium feature, which would allow our users to personalize their job choices. So like when they would open the app, there would be like a screen, which basically asks them questions, which would decide what type of jobs they like. And so it would personalize the jobs that get listed to them, which would be related to the jobs that they would like. And our other feature would be to put ads on our app. So
Yeah, and the pricing for that, based on our interviews that we conducted, is the average pricing was $1, and yeah.
All right, we have time for one more question.
The kind of other main content pipeline that you seem to have going into the application is the actual job searching advice. How do you plan to source that advice and keep it fresh?
So we would basically go and research and maybe even conduct surveys with some people that we know who are experienced and ask them for like the knowledge of maybe how to do an interview or maybe how to create a resume or maybe how to appeal to employers. And then by using those surveys and the information that we get, we would basically implement that into our app.
Yeah, and we also plan accordingly to the current pandemic to like not only expand to like working at home and expand to like easy easy jobs such as like teaching guitar for a certain price or making a web design for something. And yeah, that's how we plan to get other jobs besides the local businesses we're targeting.
All right, Aki buddy, great job. That is time. So we have our final team ready to present. So this is team 6. So everyone, please join me in welcoming our next team, which is Team Fit Realm. So Fit Realm, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Okay, Memo, make sure that the screen sharing's on and that you can take it from the other person.
Yeah, Jorge, is multiple screen share enabled?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Luna, and I am the Scrum Master.
Hello, my name is Manora Gata, and I'm the product manager.
Hi, my name is Leon Norfleet, and I'm the developer.
Hello, my name is Giovanni Diaz, and I'm the designer.
And we are Fit Realm.
I'm a 15-year-old teenager in Los Angeles. Before COVID-19, I used to run 4 times a week and worked out constantly. Unable to go outside, I took it upon myself to start working out at home. I watched video after video, trying to find a workout I liked. No matter the video, working out just didn't feel the same. I lost motivation and didn't exercise for months. We identified that teenagers ages 13 through 18 in LA County do not have a way of making exercise at home an enjoyable experience due to COVID-19. Fit Realm is here to help.
We surveyed 80 students and learned that more than 50% don't exercise daily. In addition, over 80% of our target audience would use FitRealm features to improve their daily exercise experience. FitRealm is going to provide our users with a platform that changes what it feels like to work out at home.
Now let's demo the app. Let's do some push-ups. Once you select the exercise, you can start your challenge. At the end of the set time, you will be able to see how many calories you've lost during the workout. In addition, we provide a progress page to show users their overall data and collective calories burned for each exercise done.
Meet our competitors. Fitbit, a fitness app that makes users purchase their equipment, which causes a barrier of entry. 30-Day Fitness Challenge, which only supplies users with an extremely small variety of exercises. And Active, which targets and tailors exercises for an adult audience. FitRealm was made by teenagers for teenagers, unlike our competitors who target an older audience. By targeting teens, we are tailoring our app for their exercise needs. We also provide easy access for users to see their improvement.
At the release of our app, revenue will be generated by paid advertisements from other companies. Advertised products will complement our users' experience while using our app. Once our application takes off, we plan to implement a collaboration feature and a competitive aspect to our app to increase retention and provide a truly unique workout experience. In addition, we plan to sell a customizable version of our app to school districts, providing physical educators with the ability to create their own curriculums through the app, host live exercise sessions, and monitor student activity.
If teenagers fail to stay active, they can develop serious health issues like obesity, high blood pressure, or type 2 diabetes. FitRoam is offering the solution of a lifetime to combat these lifestyle issues. We prioritize teaching our users to live a healthy and active lifestyle. FitRoam is a 24-hour fitness from your own home. Join us and find it in you. Thank you.
We are now open to any questions.
All right, good job, Team FitRoam. So judges, I'll start the 2-minute timer when the first question is asked.
So retention is tough for both apps and especially new exercising, especially in that first week. So what sort of plans do you have for the onboarding to make sure that people don't drop off after only 1 or 2 times?
Well, to elaborate, alongside of our main feature, which is showing just a list of each exercise with the timer, so each user knows exactly how they're going to be doing the exercise and the recommended time for their body type, so they can do it efficiently and effectively. We're also going to be adding extra features like our ability to see their stats. They're going to be able to know how many calories they have lost, how many push-ups or any exercise they've done, so they'll be able to keep track of their improvement and their overall effort and everything that they've done.
And how they progress over time.
Active. Yeah.
So I'm curious to know if your team did any user testing and did you receive any insights from that helped change your designs?
We actually did. We have about 30 people test our app. And we made a Google Forms, and through that Google Forms, they provided feedback to us based on designs, how they felt like the smoothness of the app, the functionality, how they felt when they were using it. And there was a couple of things that they said. For example, they felt that some areas were like they needed filling in. There was like nothing there. It felt like it was a little empty. That was on our part. We wanted to keep it simple, but at the same time, we kind of like
to further elaborate, those were past issues, and we've been solved those. And we've also had some comments and criticism on our original branding and design choices, which I believe our designer Giovanni could provide some insight on.
Yes. Initially, our designs were kind of empty, and they had a lot of space, and they weren't really they wouldn't guide the user as much as we would have liked. And when we got the first round of feedback back, well, we changed that, and you saw how our app looks now. Things are more in place, and you can kind of, well, you know what to do, basically, when you use our app. It's simple.
All right, judges, that is time. So give it up for all the teams. Those are our 6 teams this summer. Hopefully, a lot of users will be gained after this event. So with that said, we have been sitting for a while, especially we have experienced this doing a virtual event. So we do want to take some time to give everyone in the audience some time to just stand up, stretch, do what you got to do. So what we would like to do is take a 5-minute break. And during this 5-minute break, you can disconnect and rejoin if needed, or you could just keep your mic off and your video off and return. We'll leave it up to you, but we do want to give everyone some time to stretch. So it is 11:40. Judges and boys, everyone, if you could return at 11:45, we will continue with the rest of the program. Does anyone have any questions? All right, everyone, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll return at 11:45.
In South Central Los Angeles, young men of color are exposed to gangs and crimes, but less than 1% of these schools offer computer science education. We needed to come up with a solution that's going to give them a path, not just out of poverty, but make sure that they don't end up in jail. TXT, Teens Exploring Technology. It's a program that uses technology as a tool to empower young Black and Latino boys to become catalysts of change in urban communities. Throughout the year, we're serving about 500 kids who are the ages of 12 to 17 years old, and the average income of the families in those communities is about $20,000 a year.
The next stop is 103rd Street.
I live in Watts, and my mom and my dad are both immigrants. My mom works as a house cleaner. My dad, he does construction. If I had not come to TXT, I wouldn't be able to have the hope of joining a technology company. The first day that I walked into TXT, I didn't speak at all. But throughout the program, Oscar has been challenging me to speak up more and more, and that has really helped me a lot in my self-confidence and my voice.
The Cube is the first hackerspace in South Central Los Angeles. You will find kids that are creating drones, they're creating apps. That's become a community of innovators and a second home for a lot of these boys. Our Summer Coding Leadership Academy is a 12-week program of learning how to solve community problems. They get trained to do coding, design, and also how to pitch to investors.
Once I understood the API, we developed it really quickly.
Hey, Doug, I'm entering.
Welcome, Oscar Menjiver.
You recognize my voice now?
Yeah.
Good job. Can we give him a round? 100% of the young boys that go through that program, they're graduating high school.
They are not just learning how to code, they're learning how to be leaders, how to articulate opinions and problems and solutions to those problems.
If you ever get thrown in a problem, you can know yourself and know what you're good at to overcome that problem. What I've learned through the SOS program...
You can imagine a future where they become decision makers at companies later on in their career that can have really positive impacts.
Hustle and Code is a hackathon that happens in the housing projects. We said to ourselves, why not bring professionals in technology companies over to the poorest communities in Los Angeles so that kids can see who they can become?
I remember going to Silicon Valley and seeing lots of companies that were predominantly white, and I saw it as an opportunity for me to change the workspace and make it more diverse. These big tech companies are in big demand of JavaScript programmers, and I am one of them.
What I'm excited about is that the kids are not just learning how to code. What they're learning is how to think bigger. What they're learning is how to think about the impossible and be the creators of their own future.
Like how she said she was created with so much play. It's like really descriptive and it really makes the story go. Yes, and I would add one more thing before we go on to me to talk about the your actual assignment. When we say details, look at the specifics. She didn't just say, I woke up at night. What time did she wake up? Anybody?
2 a.m.
All right, everyone, it's 11:45. Hopefully that break helped you stretch, rehydrate. I know I need to rehydrate. and we could go ahead and continue with the program. So what we're gonna do now is give the judges a total of 30 minutes to decide on the winner. Now, reminder judges that the winning team, the first place team, is going home with $4,000. So it's a big decision that we're very excited to see which team is going home with that money. And just to give you more context, in the past, we were more strict with the boys in terms of getting funds. We traditionally asked each team to come up with a business plan on how they were going to use the money to continue developing their apps. However, given the financial restrictions and given the current COVID crisis, we are eliminating that restriction. The boys worked so hard this summer and were able to continue developing their apps in a virtual world that this year the winning team gets the $4,000, and it's up to them what they want to do with it. If they want to use that money to celebrate, if they want to use that money to help their families, that's something that is completely up to them. With that said, Alejandro, can you please put the judges in our breakout room while we continue with the program? Okay, I think we're good to go. Great. So with that said, let's go ahead and continue. The next person I want to bring onto the stage is Rocio Luna. Now, Rocio Luna, she is the mother of one of our boys, Joshua Luna. And we wanted to make sure we also make space for the Spanish-speaking audience watching at home. There may be fathers and mothers that are interested in getting their boys in our program, but may not know a lot about TXT. So before we bring Rocio on the line, I want to ensure I describe a little bit about this family. So Joshua Luna stood out right away in cohort 1. He is very, very, very persistent. I think he asked myself and Oscar if he could pitch to us at least 50 times this summer. And I think I have track of how many times, so I could pull it up. But this tells me that Joshua comes from a family that values perseverance and working hard. This tells me that Rocio guides Joshua to really push himself and work hard. What I'm going to do now is translate this for our Spanish-speaking audience. Quiero tomar un momento para reconocer uno de nuestros madres. Rocio Luna es la mamá de Joshua Luna. Y Joshua es un estudiante que es muy persistente. Cuando empezó el programa, Joshua, yo pienso que mínimo de 50 veces me preguntó a mí y a Oscar si él puede practicar con nosotros. Esto me dice que Joshua es un estudiante que viene de una familia que valora ser persistente y trabajar duro. En este momento quiero dejar que Rocío, una de nuestras madres del programa, explique más de la experiencia de cómo se siente ser una mamá de un estudiante que hace el programa de TXT. Por favor, si todos me pueden ayudar y bienvenir a Rocio Luna. Everyone, if you could please join me in welcoming Rocio Luna.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Rocio Luna, mamá de Joshua Luna. Pues quiero dar mi testimonio. Fue una experiencia maravillosa poder ver a Joshua crecer social y académicamente por medio de su participación en TXT. Anteriormente, él era un joven muy tímido y en TXT pudo desarrollar su liderazgo. Ahora él puede iniciar una conversación y hablar en público. Joshua perdió el miedo a conversar y hacer preguntas a sus maestros en cuanto a sus dudas e inquietudes, teniendo como resultado unos grados más altos. Es por eso que recomiendo a los padres que no tengan duda en participar en TXT. El programa les da a los jóvenes una gran oportunidad para aprender liderazgo, socialización, conocer muchas personas importantes, como las visitas de los profesionales de Google. Uno de mis recuerdos favoritos de TXT es cuando veía a Joshua platicar, muy emocionado de su proyecto, cómo iba avanzando, verle la cara de felicidad de ir logrando su propósito. Significa mucho orgullo y satisfacción ver que la participación en TXT logró muchos cambios en Joshua. Gracias a todos los que hicieron posible esta gran experiencia.
Muchas gracias, Rocío, y gracias por tener el tiempo de hablar y gracias por hacer que Joshua sea parte de este programa este verano. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ustedes también.
All right, so let's go ahead and continue with the program. Next up, we have one of our top students from cohort 2. So let me take a moment to describe Sharif. So Sharif and his younger brother Miles joined TXT for cohort 2. Now Sharif and his little brother Miles, one of my first memories was them asking a lot of questions. And that's when I knew Sharif and Miles and their mother Tracy aren't afraid to speak their mind and ask questions. One of my favorite memories of Sharif was during our Riot panel. We had a lot of engineers from the Riot Games team come talk to us, and they asked our boys if they had any questions. I was amazed to see Sharif step up and straight up ask them, "Hey, I have my own video game. Can you help me take it off the ground?" That's when I knew Sharif was going places. Sharif is someone that is never afraid to speak his mind, and most importantly, is a risk taker. So everyone, please join in me in welcoming Sharif Moreau.
Hello, my name is Sharif Morrow. I'm a student in the Teens Exploring Technology SCLA TXT program and the Scrum leader for Team NOLA. I'm here to speak about my experience in the TXT program. When I first heard about this program, I didn't take the opportunity lightly. I applied quickly. When COVID hit, I didn't think the program would still happen and was sad because I wanted to learn to code a lot. I have been teaching myself, so it was instant disappointment. I was later accepted, learning that they were able to adapt to the pandemic requirements and would still have the camp virtually. So I was excited again. And that's exactly what they taught us, how to adapt to current conditions, think for ourselves, and think outside the box. This camp wasn't easy. It took a lot of commitment. We learned a lot more than coding. We learned teamwork and how to problem solve, along with coding. We learned organization, teamwork, and how to support one another by practicing how to recognize the good someone did and telling them. These are skills we're going to need in life to maintain a job, career, or lead a team to success. Teens Exploring Technology is exactly that. We, the teens, explore the use of technology in a unique way. In TXT, we use technology to help others by exploring communities we were passionate about. We use that passion and the ability of technology to create an app as a team in 2 weeks. This was unthinkable. However, with a team, long hours, we were able to use technology to create something or to help our chosen community. We as a team we met as a team after hours and ran ideas. We received feedback from coaches and over 100 potential users and each other on our individual ideas. The developer took those ideas and put them to code. We continuously sought the opinions of others and that of the community through email until NOLA happened. Working as a team felt good and made the impossible possible. Through TXT, I made a group of amazing guys that I was a group of amazing guys that I was teamed with and hope to be happy with friends with afterwards. This program allowed me to meet people with similar likes as myself, making for a good experience with TXT. I am thankful that I got this opportunity and will continue learning to code and become a tech leader for my generation.
Great job, Sharif. So everyone, you've heard from our boys, you've heard from our parents, and you've heard from some of our alumni. What I want to do is continue with the program and give an update on how we're doing in terms of reaching our goal. So I do want to take some time to recognize recent donors that has helped us reach our $10,000 goal. So currently, we're less than $2,000 away. We're currently sitting at $8,301. I want to recognize David Ray, Danielle Gomez, Pete, one of our judges, Pete Detrois, Barbara Shannon, and another judge, Rudy Bonaparte, for donating and helping bring TXT programs to more boys this fall. Now, in order for us to reach our goal, we also want to take a moment to talk a little bit more about our impact. So here at TXT, we don't believe that we just teach boys how to code. We teach more than that. As you can see here, this is one of our alumni, Anthony Ramirez. And Anthony, I think you're here in our Zoom. If you don't mind just briefly saying hi.
Hello.
So Anthony, thanks for joining us today, Anthony. Anthony is one of our alumni, and Anthony joined us when he was very young, as early as 9th grade. Here you see him learning how to code and working with another student. Currently, Anthony is a freshman at the Iovine and Young Academy at USC, which is a very selective program. He is one of 2 of our alumni that are currently there. But not only that, Anthony returned this summer to be one of our cohort managers, and he helped us deliver over 10,000 hours of coding instruction for our boys. This is our impact. We teach more than code. We teach our boys how to care about their community and come back and help in any way they can. Now, another important piece, as you heard from our parents, is the family aspect of TXT. Here on your right, you see another one of our alumni during our previous demo days. You see, TXT not only impacts the lives of our boys, but it has the power to impact families. Many of our alumni go on to pursue tech jobs, and we recently heard this summer how happy a lot of our boys were that they have secured high-paying jobs where they could help their families when they lost their jobs this summer. That's the impact we're making here at TXT. It means a lot to hear our alumni tell us that, hey, my dad lost their job, my mom lost their job, but I'm now an engineer at a tech company and I'm helping them pay their mortgage, or I'm helping them pay their bills. That's the impact we want to make, not only on our boys, but we see the beautiful families that come to us, and it gives us a lot of happiness knowing that our boys are able to help their families in the future if needed. Here in the bottom, you see a picture of our boys at one of our alumni dinners. You see, TXT is more than just teaching our boys how to code. It's about teaching our boys that they're part of a brotherhood and they're part of a bigger family. we are proud to say that 95% of our alumni go on to pursue a 4-year university. In addition, about 75% of our alumni that go to university end up majoring in computer science. You see, majoring in computer science is very tough. And there are times where our alumni call us because they're struggling. But the fact that we have a brotherhood and we have a family here at TXT that can be there to make sure that they not only graduate from college, but are prepared to pursue the tech jobs upon graduation. So this year, we used Minecraft as a platform to allow our boys to innovate and be creative. So we had one of our alumni create a short video for you to enjoy, pretty much giving you a tour of Minecraft. Now, the name of the student that completed this world is Pablo Guzman. Pablo was one of our students that completed the program a couple of years ago. I am excited to share that he is currently a freshman at UC Berkeley. That's the power of TXT, is our boys are able to pursue computer programming at one of the most prestigious universities in California. Pablo first reached out to me and said, "Hey Roque, do you need help with Minecraft?" And I said, "Yes. I don't even know how to use it. Please tell me." Within a couple of days, Pablo recreated our entire world and not only made it to reflect the actual real world, but put a lot of interactive and fun games that our boys were able to complete. So with that said, Pablo, are you here as well?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Pablo, thank you for joining us and making this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it with everyone.
Hey everyone, my name is Paulo Guzman, and I was in charge of building as well as bringing together a group of texters to help me build the Minecraft world structures and also the activities that you're about to see in just a second. As you can see here, we have one of those main activities that we used to create a bond and help each other grow in terms of leadership and communication, as well as throughout the program. This activity right here is specifically designed for those students in the program, and we have so much fun during the activity and after the activity. There's this white structure here you're seeing right now with a blue pyramid looking tower, and this white structure is very important throughout the program and for TXT. This is a build inspired by the academy, the Irving and Young Academy in USC. And as we can see, this is called the garage. This is where usually every student throughout the program met and had their meetings. It's basically the home, the virtual replica of the Irving and Young garage. And as you can see, this is our amphitheater. The amphitheater where we had our cohort meetings. As you can see that front over there, this is where we had also a scavenger hunt. It was pretty fun. It's always really fun to, immerse into a video game and continue learning. And this is something that I am proud to form part of in TXT. And this is one of the pieces that really stuck with us throughout this TXT, because after we had fun during our activities, but we also had fun giving the chance to everybody to build structures, buildings, or video game characters that the first and second cohort took their time to build with their creativity. And I was amazed, to be honest, to see all of these builds come alive, because this Minecraft video game is somewhere where you have to be very detailed oriented, and all these details that are in these structures are just making everything so beautiful. that makes every student get recognized for what they do. And so this is something that we will preserve for the program, and something that the students are welcome to join again. This is it. This is the world. This is what we've been working on. And last but not least, nothing would be possible without our funders, sponsors. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for watching this run through our Minecraft world where we learn virtually.
All right, Pablo, well done. With that smooth music in the background as well. So Pablo, if you don't mind sharing, a little bit about you and your experience working with us this summer, specifically with Minecraft. You're the Minecraft leader, so that was a great job, well done. If you have any words you would like to share with everyone.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, okay? And thank you. I've seen all the presentations already. You guys are rocking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And yeah, I'm Pablo Guzman, currently a freshman at UC Berkeley, like you said. And to be honest, I wouldn't be, making the having the options I have now, if I didn't like join TXT back in my sophomore year. I completed TXT twice. Uh, my second year was almost like the most memorable one. I didn't believe before that, like, doing TXT in your like a second year would like give you so much advantage over like other people in college and high school, until I did it. I really became so independent. As an example of like, managing to create a augmented reality application, I was able to think outside the box, and I feel like that's something that stuck with me throughout the program, and that I feel that I like doing now. Um, and now, as of like throughout the program, I really enjoyed building in the world. Like, I'm into video games a lot, and I'm into like business in the gaming industry, and I believe in the fact that video games can become something like very important in the world, and it's now happening. And so I felt really excited just building all these structures and making it, come real for our texters and for our students to have fun. And it's something like I'm really proud of taking part of. I didn't think I was gonna take part of anything this year in TXT, due to the fact that of like what happened like with COVID. But taking it virtually, it was a challenge for everybody. But we all thrived to disrupt and do something different that still worked out, and turned out to be more amazing than these past years. And I don't think that any other program is doing the things that TXT are doing. And going through adversity is something that we're all used to do, and we're still going to keep doing it. And I believe that all of the young men right here present in this Zoom call, our participants and everybody else, I feel like we're all going to get somewhere in life where we're gonna look back at TXT, and we're gonna say that, man, like, we really learned a lot through them, and we're going to give back to the community because of them. Yeah.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Everyone give it up for Pablo. He was our leader in using Minecraft and innovating with it. So thank you so much for being with us today. I see our judges are back. So judges and Alejandro, if we can go ahead and uh, say our third place team, then our second place team, and then our champion. And in terms of prizes, the third place and second place team, you do have the option to come to our cube and get your choice of headphones or dual monitors that we have here. So second and third place, you guys are still gonna get something. So make sure to DM me so we can figure that out. But most importantly, the winning team is gonna walk away with $4,000. Now, in order to get this, I do ask that you contact myself and Oscar so we could figure out that project as well. With that said, judges, if we could go ahead and I'll let you all take it away.
Awesome. So for our third place winner with a score of 148, we have is AccuBuddy. Do any of the judges want to give a piece of feedback or advice to the team of OccuBuddy?
Yeah, sure, I'll jump in. Congratulations on a tremendous pitch, and we really had a lot of great discussions about the potential for your product in the judges' room. I think you've got a lot going for you in terms of the opportunity to really bring some occupational training to the communities that you really care about. We want to make sure that as you start to push forward on this idea, if you choose to do so, that you really think about the way in which you are going to be attracting employers and get super clear on how you're going to do that, as well as pay attention to the thing that you're doing around providing interview training, because that can be really powerful for your community as well, and will drive a lot of users to your product. So congrats again on a great pitch, and hope to see more from you.
So again, thank you very much, Rudy, for the piece of feedback, and thank you to the judges. Again, to get either your headphones or your monitors, please contact Roque in regards to that and pick it up from the cube. So next up for second. All right, everyone, let's get ready. Drum roll. With a score of 155, we have, get ready, NOLA. So again, thank you very much to the team of NOLA. It was amazing. So does any judge want to give a piece of feedback, advice, or something they loved about the project?
Yeah, I could jump in. I think I could speak for the judges also that the like the driving force for the solution to NOLA was the personal story that they shared and how that impacts their community is very important. Yeah, I think especially in these times that it's something that we could really use in our communities and that knowledge that we could use to help our families also. Yeah.
So give it up for NOLA, second place winners. Again, thank you very much, judges. It was an amazing feedback. Please contact Roque in regards to your prize winning and everything like that. So again, so next up for first place with a difference of 3 points at 158. Everyone get their drum roll for the first place winner only by 3 points. And it is Next Corner with 158 points. So this is our winner for $4,000 in a grand prize. So again, thank you very much. We're so proud of everyone that performed. Everyone did amazing. Next Corner, you did amazing. Again, it was all so close. Only a difference of 3 points between first and second. Does any judge want to talk about their performance, about anything they did, their feedback, advice, or anything they loved about it?
I suppose I could. So I think there was a lot that I really liked about the way you guys approached the solution. First of all, identifying the problem was immensely impactful. I think you guys did a very good job, not just in terms of identifying it from the perspective of the customer, which is fairly easy to do, but you also identified it from the side of the person selling and actually the merchant, which is very hard to do. I suspect that the fact that you guys were involved in a business similar to that greatly helped with that. The revenue model was the thing that did it for me. In a world where these are all small to medium-sized businesses, you're talking about acquisition being the biggest problem to solve for them. They have a really hard time spending to get new customers. And the fact that you guys made it variable, you made it easy, you almost incentivized the merchants to want this platform to work. And that's what great products do, is both the supply and demand are incented to make it work. So that's the reason why I felt very strongly about you guys. Well done.
Awesome, and thank you very much. Again, the winners of the prize, speak to Roque or Oscar in regards to gaining your prize. Any of the winners, the boys, do you guys want to have a word or two to say about winning this amazing prize and your experience behind it and the experience of TXT? Live it up, guys. It's your time.
I would like to say just thank you for allowing us to join the program. This program helped us like better ourselves and become better people and help our communities.
I want to say that, like, yeah, thank you a lot. This is like kind of unexpected, to be honest. Like, I don't know, like I had confidence, right, that we can like do something, right? Or that like, but at the same time, there's always like doubt at the back of like my mind about like, is it like really possible that we can like win? And then it just happened, and now it's just like, I don't know, it's like mind blowing. And like, I just want to say like, thank you very much. It's been like a great experience, and it's like helped me. Like TXT has helped me a lot to grow as a person and just better myself in general.
Awesome, awesome. Again, thank you very much. So
Could I
for the
just
next,
add one thought? Could I just
yeah,
add one thought? I
of
just
course.
want to congratulate all the teams for participating, and and congratulate the winners, of course. This is a tough deliberation for the judges. I don't want to speak for everybody, but we had some really great conversation around this, and I just, from my standpoint, want to say that every one of these ideas, win or lose, had a really good understanding of a problem that needed to get solved or an opportunity to go capture. And just because the prize wasn't won today doesn't mean that there aren't really great insights that these companies were spawned from. They're great, and sometimes they just need to get workshopped a little bit so that they can find either a bigger market or a more equitable revenue model for all participants. The feedback is different on every one, but just because a prize wasn't won today, I do want to commend all the thinkers and participants for formulating, really good insights. That's the core of any business, whether it's a business designed to make money or a business designed to help the community in some way, help the community in some way. So, congratulations to everybody. And for those that didn't win a prize today, keep workshopping the idea. It doesn't mean that there's not something really powerful there.
Yeah, and with that, again, we don't want to, everyone did amazing work today. So we are, in no particular order, going to give feedback to the other teams as well. You guys put a lot of work into these projects, so we want to make sure you learn something and gain something from it. So does any of the judges want to give any advice to master menu?
Yeah, I'll speak to that. The thing that I really loved about Master Menu was this idea of like a lifeline for cooking, where you could have this like real-time connection to help somebody learn how to do something. That feels like really interesting and powerful to me. And I think, maybe, one question is figuring out like, can you get that social behavior to occur? And then if you can, how do you turn that into a business? But I think it's a really interesting concept.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Adam. We really appreciate the feedback and everything. Next up is novice. Any judge wants to give any feedback or regards to novice?
Yeah, I can. Once again, another great presentation. And I think one thing that got pulled up a lot in the judges' room there was the fact that the affiliate model is something that's really good for getting quick startup ways where like really there's not as much initial investment there in order to get that. And there's a lot of companies that make a lot of money off of the affiliate model. So that was great. I think try and look into how big of a target market you want to go after. What's the addressable market, and what are some ways that you can actually leverage content to try and make it easier for different types of building, different types of gaming PCs, or whatever different types of PC you're trying to build. Have that content there so that there's different avenues that you can go on to have a bigger addressable market overall.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
can
you
I?
very. Oh, go ahead.
So can I say something to Master Menu as well? Sorry, I should have jumped in earlier. One of the things that, you know, the chef model has been done, right? Like there's hundreds of thousands of chefs who are publishing stuff and they're writing cookbooks, and everybody hears more than they want to from the chefs. I personally would love to cook with an Italian grandma, right? That's the person whose recipe I don't know. And I almost strive to go try authentic cooking that's not commercial grade. So I think there's a very interesting pivot for you guys to think about. What about completely targeting yours towards people like the Italian grandma in that example, who are experts, who are designated as experts, and it's home style cooking, and the recipes cater to that group? Forget the chefs. If you want authentic home style cooking, this is the platform to go to. That would be one. And if you're taking the time to invest in streaming and cooking together, etc., and having somebody be present like a chef, I think there could be a really interesting pivot on that. If you just started saying, let's do cook together sessions. So every day at 7 p.m. Eastern, there's a session where an Italian grandma, as she's cooking, you guys broadcast and stream it together. And therefore, you know, whoever's joining in is getting the recipe, but is also seeing it being cooked. There's a real Twitch element to this. And I think if you guys took it there, that's a pretty interesting pivot on the product.
Awesome. And thank you for this valuable feedback. The students will, of course, they love it. So next up is FitRealm. Does any judge want to give feedback to FitRealm?
I just want to say that I really love the energy, the enthusiasm, and it felt like the teamwork was excellent. I think that's going to serve all those young men very well in their future.
Awesome. Again, so those are the feedback. Again, to the teams that didn't place, your work was not forgotten. It is very important work that you're doing. And again, what the judges are saying, with more work, these could be amazing projects as well. The winners, everything was really close, and this was a very difficult choice for many of the judges. So again, thank you very much for all the work that all the teams won, and congratulations to the winners as well. So again, thank you, Roque. Next up is you.
Thank you. So thank you, judges, for all your time and your donations. As we wrap up the program, we do want to give an update on our goal. So we're currently at $8,880. So we're a little over $1,000 below our goal. And we want to just take some time to have one of our TXT staff members talk a little bit more about our key sponsors and supporters. So Cecilia, if you could take it away.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm okay with the sound? Thank you. My name is Cecilia Carvajal, and I'm actually the Director of Development with TXT. I'm really excited to be here. This is definitely a dream come true for TXT, for the students, for the alumni, especially as a girl from South Central that is a Trojan as well, and knows and has been following Oscar for about 15 years around and looking at what he's doing. I'm really get empowered, very excited to be part of this project. And also, you know, I want to take the time to thank the supporters, the people who have been staying with us. The Broad Foundation, I mean, you have been adapting and helping us throughout these years and being very flexible, especially during this pandemic, and being able to shift our goals to meet the needs of our students. We thank you for that. We want to thank Facebook and Crunchbase. Thank you so much for being our official sponsors for Demo Day 2020. We appreciate what you contributed to the students, to us. We want to take the time to thank Slick Deals and Riot Game for their supplies, for donations for students that are going to go directly to the students. We appreciate you. And also USC and Stanford universities, they have been providing support. As you know, was mentioned before, USC has been where we go and take our students for classes. So we're really looking forward to taking the students back to the campus and go to the computer labs and have them do that. And Stanford, thank you so much for sending your coaches every summer, whether it's physical or virtual. You've been sending those coaches every summer, and thank you for your support. And on behalf of TXT, to everyone that is here, for the students, for the parents, for the judges, for everyone that is watching us in different areas, we want to thank you. Thank you for continuing to share our dream. And our dream at the end is to empower and to train the next generation of technology leaders. So we definitely want to thank you. Thank you for your support. And, you know, there's so much more that is to come. And that's where I leave Roque with. And thank you for your support.
Thank you, Cecilia. So some quick FYIs, we do have more programs that are coming up that we want to make sure all of our boys and everyone in attendance is aware of. Our next program that takes place in the fall is our Intro to Python. This is a program that is going to take place virtually. We're going to have sessions twice a week on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. So any student that is interested in learning more about Python and introduction to games, please apply. What we're going to do now is on all platforms, on Facebook Live, on Twitch stream, and on the Zoom link, we are going to send our application for anyone that is interested in applying to do so. One quick thing about this program is Python is open to both boys and girls. So anyone in the audience, if you like what you saw today, please encourage our youth to apply. Our second program, I'm going to have our coordinator Alejandro talk a little bit more about our annual hackathon.
Thank you, Roque. So this winter, December 12th, we're gonna have our annual hackathon. This year, it's gonna be completely different. We're gonna do it virtually. Traditionally, we do them inside the LA housing projects, but this year, we're gonna do it completely virtual, and we're gonna implement youth students from around the area and from those at the housing projects. So again, if you're interested in being a volunteer or participating in the retro hackathon, we did post the Google form for a save the date in regard to that. And if you have any questions regarding that, you may contact me in regards to the hackathon, or you can contact Roque in regards to the Intro to the Python class. So again, hopefully we can see you in December being a volunteer or being a judge that year. So again, thank you very much, and thank you for everything that everyone has done.
Thank you, Alejandro. And as we wrap up, we do have some more donations coming in. So I want to make sure we take some time to recognize these people. So I want to recognize Jose Solis for making a donation. And I think, Jose, you signed up also. A lot of our people that donated today, they not only donated for a one-time donation, they subscribe to have monthly deductions. So we want to recognize those people as well. Your support is greatly appreciated, and please let us know how we can continue to work with you and your organizations to support our boys. Next up, I do have Esperanza Perez, who also donated. Thank you, Esperanza, for your donation. And also, Hao Tran from Slick Deals, thank you so much for donating and helping us keep and scale our programs. So lastly, for everyone in attendance, we do want to open up the floor for any questions and also allow our judges and everyone, all of the boys, an opportunity to close out. So for any questions in general inquiries in regards to TXT, please email info@urbantxt.com. If anyone has any questions in regards to programs, please reach out to me. My email is roque@urbantxt.com. And if anyone is interested in learning more about our annual hackathon, please reach out to alejandro@urbantxt.com. With that said, we do want to give the judges and the boys an opportunity to, if they have other obligations, please don't feel obligated to stay. But we do want to stay online and take any questions or final comments from the crowd.
Hello. So we're open to questions for the judges now, right? Hi guys, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
That's good to hear. So we really want to improve our app after we did not do as good as we originally thought. Do you guys have any other feedback that we could possibly receive? We just want to be able to keep improving our app to the best of our ability. And we want to know if there were just any tiny little things that you guys saw that just sticked out that we just really needed to fix. Anything?
Right on. Thank you for asking. Really appreciate that passion behind the project, and that's one of the things I came across in all the pitches. I think one of the areas of opportunity that exists for your application is how you deal with that retention issue. It's really, really, I can't tell you the number of times I've fallen off of workout programs. If I got back up for every time I fell off a workout program, I probably would have done 100 push-ups by now. Like it's just crazy how hard it is to get people to stick to these things. And so thinking about the way in which you can leverage push notifications to drive retention, gamification in terms of like achievements or other goals that you can set, and thinking about how you leverage social media, particularly Instagram, TikTok, if we still have access to it, other things like that to help build a community that drives people to the application and keeps them in that ecosystem, would make it much easier for you to deal with the retention issue and ultimately build out a good user base for your app.
To add to that, I would spend like specific focus on the first 7 days. You know, what can you do to make sure that they come back every single one of those first 7 days so that it helps start creating that habit of exercising, right? You know, once you start exercising, you know, for a continuous amount of time, it all of a sudden becomes a habit. Like I go for a run every morning and I don't even think about it now. So once you get over that hump, it's really good. So if you can actually help people get over that hump through the gamification or other retention tools with push notifications, that would be really good. But spend a specific focus on that first week.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Hi, my name is.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sharif Morrow, and I had a question. What do you think about our app NOLA that made the 3-point difference between the great team next corner? That made you guys go in there, Eric?
I can take that. The toughest thing about what you're doing is the proximity to revenue. It's a great cause. I think you guys did a phenomenal job of identifying a problem, and you picked a subject like civics, which is super boring. I wish I'd paid more attention, but I never did. And consequently, you know, it's very hard to learn civics. It's not like physics, right, where there's a right answer and a wrong answer. It's learning the act of judgment and rules. So what I loved about your product was the fact that you broke it down into little digestible chunks. As much as possible, you applied it to real life situations. There were two quick concerns that I had. One was, how do you build the content? Which I think with your ACLU partnerships, you guys went a great deal in solving that. So well done on that. The second thing was, how does the app make money? And ad supported businesses are very, very hard to run. The ad market always has pressure downwards. So every year, if you run an advertising supported business, you should expect your ad revenues to get worse over time because people get competitive. There are other venues, keeping traffic up is hard. There's all sorts of issues there. So it would have taken so much for your business to generate profits. It felt more like, this almost felt more like a non-profit business than it did a revenue generating business to me. Like if you pitched this as a non-profit idea, I think you'd probably get a lot more traction. So that's the thing. Love the problem. The winning team just had a more direct path to revenue, which is why I thought you guys came in second. I'm sure somebody else has more thoughtful insights on that.
All right, thanks, boys. With that said, we do have a couple minutes left. So I do want to give the judges or anyone else, any students, an opportunity to give some advice for our boys. You know, at the end of the day, you guys, we build great products, but the most important part is you growing as an individual. And when you look back, I hope you one day or end up working at a prestigious tech company and you look back and say, what I could have won at demo day is nothing compared to where I am today. Because this is the start of your life and all of you are winners in my book. So with that said, would anyone like to have any closing comments for our boys before we wrap up?
How you guys doing? My name is Matthew Gray from TXT. I'm a new member to TXT, so it's great to kind of see how TXT has been operating over the last couple of years, and especially during this tough time. As we already know that COVID-19 has changed the way that certain things are going to be now and in the future. So it's great that we have this program and watch individuals really learn more about themselves and learn about the future at the same time. You know, just hearing these guys' presentation, it just was really a great experience to really get a good feeling about what TXT stands for. And I think all of you guys did a great job as far as your presentations go. Your apps are just amazing. And I would love to, if I could have it my way, I'd put each one of them on my phone just because of what they stand for not only your community, but the work that you guys put into it. And I want you guys to keep working hard, to keep growing, because we need more leaders like you guys in this world.
I would just, one of the young men mentioned that he had doubts and he was surprised. And I would encourage you not to lose your doubts. Doubts are a strength, and you can overcome them, and you did, and all the teams did. But don't view that as a weakness. It'll actually make what you're doing better, because you're going to have to address those doubts for yourself, because your clients and customers, etc., will have doubts, I assure you. And so originating them in your mind and overcoming them in your mind is actually a very strong tool that you can use in the future.
Yeah, I want to echo that. Doubts are critical, and in a weird way, self-doubt is critical. You'll never stop, even when you're successful. You're never going to stop doubting yourself. It's important to do that so that you can overcome that. So that's a really great point that I want to echo. I just want to add one final thought here, which is go get exposure. One of the things that I'm being made aware of on this call, or this call is reinforcing, is this idea that how smart and accomplished these judges are, and the feedback that they're giving is super, super valuable. And you can get this type of exposure by picking up the phone, calling, writing, companies in the area, people that are successful in the area for mentorship and internship. But I think that when I think back in earlier parts of my career, the things that were the difference makers were the exposure that I had to great talent and great thinkers. And I would just implore anybody in the organization to go out, and all the kids to go out and find exposure to great thinkers and great leaders, because that stuff will rub off on you. And the more exposure you get, the better development that's going to be. So reach out to me, reach out to others, and go get that exposure. It's the difference maker.
Can I add one thing? I just want to thank the teams for putting in so much work, for being open to the work and just bringing so much energy and work. And specifically, I think what I love most about what all the teams do is they bring a level of introspection to themselves and to their communities in a way that is really insightful and creative. And then we get to see the result of that. And for me, that is super valuable, and I really love it. So thank you for participating at that level. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. We have about 2 more minutes left. Any last minute comments before we wrap up?
Just to close out, really happy to have the opportunity to participate. Thank you all for all the tremendous effort that you put into your projects and your presentations. And keep creating, keep making things that you think you need, that you think your community needs, that you think the world needs. Everything that we have is made by somebody like you who think that there's an opportunity to make things a little bit better by bringing something new into the world. So start where you are and keep going.
My name is Angel, and can I ask something? I was wondering if the judges can leave their emails or some form to contact them behind, so that just in case like any team has any questions or need help with something or wants to hear someone's opinion, someone who has like experience in what we're doing, so we can reach out.
Roku, I'm happy to have you share my email address. This is James Billmeyer with any of the participants that would like to chat.
Thank you, James. I'll make sure to share.
Same with me. If I can be helpful, I'd be happy to.
Thank you, Vikram.
Same here.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you, judges. All right, everyone. I do want to give an update on our fundraising goal as well. So we're currently at $8,880, which is a great, I consider it successful event and turnout, both financially and in terms of our youth. So I want to thank everyone for attending Final Demo Day SCLA 2020 in a virtual world. We plan to continue to innovate and make sure our community and our boys and girls have an opportunity to use technology as a tool to improve their community. With that said, we are going to share the final polished version of this recording. So we do ask that you please share it. We're going to be sharing it on our social media platforms. And with your help, I think we can hit our goal of $10,000 if we have more people knowing what we're doing here at TXT. So with that said, thank you, everyone. Once again, my name is Roque, the Director of Programs here at TXT. And thank you for allowing us to have a wonderful event to close out this summer. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.